Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Hot Corner. This is Steve. Thanks for joining me. And if you could help me out and hit the subscribe button down over here in the corner, that'd be great. And then hit the notification bell as well. And share this channel with your friends. That would help me get my messages out a little better. So thank you very much. This morning's video is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, as some of you may know, I'm just starting to get my YouTube channel up and running, and the whole purpose of the channel was to listen to hear what the Lord was saying and prompting me to create videos about. And I've tried to do that as best as possible. I've tried to hear from the Lord. I've prayed about a lot of things before I post them. Obviously, as I'm developing content, I run through different variations of material, check different resources. The channel was not meant to be an all-encompassing view on things. It really was meant to inspire conversation and encourage people to comment about things and maybe develop a thought process that think about things in a way that they're not familiar with doing. But you know, as I go through those things, I realize I have a lot of biases in my life, you know. Just the way, you know, what I was born into, the opportunities that I experienced, the path that I chose to pursue in my life has resulted in me being where I'm at today, right? So a series of choices that I've made in my life, conscious choices, sometimes unconscious, sometimes I believe fully guided by the Lord, has resulted in me being at a point where I'm at today. And I believe it's like that for everybody. Our lives all represent a series of choices we've made. Some of them easy, some of them not easy. Some opportunities were provided, some we had to seek. Excuse me. So not all of us have had the same path, same type of upbringing and whatnot. So, you know, some of us have had to overcome significant challenges. But I want to share a particular bias with you this morning because I think it's important. And it's been the one that I've been dealing with the most. I'm preparing a video on our personal freedoms versus, you know, government-provided freedoms versus God-provided freedoms, basically. And I struggled with it. And I'm still not finished with it, but I struggle with it because I love my country. I love where I grew up. I love the neighborhood that I grew up in. I love the environment I had. And I cherish this country. For those of you who don't know, I proudly served this country for 8 years. I served in the U.S. Navy. I served in nuclear submarines. I served on a particular style of submarines that carried a lot of nuclear capability. And so at a moment's notice, we could be ready to basically launch. I served 8 years, 6 years on board an what's called a SSBN submarine. We carried the big guys, we carried the big guns, lots of warheads. So, but I realized during that I gained a sense of national pride during that service. And I formed bonds with guys that to this day are still very strong. Facebook has done a number of things. One of the positive things it's done is it's allowed me to reconnect with a lot of folks that I served with, that we, you know, lost touch with each other. So it's been awesome in that regard. But here's my bias. My bias is that I love this country. I love the style of government that we have. I think our democracy is the best system on the face of the planet. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So when you've been born and raised and bred in a system like this, you realize that there is a tremendous amount of freedom, a tremendous amount of opportunity that I believe you can't find anywhere else in the world. Our republic is a really good system of governing. Does it have its faults? Yeah, it probably has its faults, but it's not because of the style of government, and it's not because of the intent of the original founders of this country, the way we know it today. I believe the original founders of this country had very good things in their heart for this country, very honorable intentions to make this country different than what they had previously experienced, to make this very unique, a very unique country, a country that created a dream for people, a country that created opportunities for people to be successful and pursue happiness unlike any other. So what kind of system do we actually live in? Well, we're considered a capitalistic system. You know, that's a socio-economic system. However, I'll make a few comments on capitalism here. Capitalism is a very good economic system. It provides the greatest amount of opportunities for individuals to be successful financially. It creates opportunities for people to start businesses, small businesses. It creates opportunities for corporations. It inspires creativity. It inspires research and development. It inspires hard work and making an honest living. As a social system, I don't believe capitalism is really geared for that. I don't believe capitalism is actually a system that is very helpful to people when they're in need. So, you know, the welfare system, when it was established, was meant to achieve a particular thing. And so we have a basic framework for America that has been tweaked, modified, very much conditioned over the last 200 plus years. I think the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, Bill of Rights were all done with the intent that people would have servant hearts. People would respect other people, people would care for other people would want to see other people do well. But as you know, it has become a very competitive system. It has become a system that has been influenced by greed. So, and that has kind of changed the face of everything. That has driven things in a direction of where it has created a bigger poverty class. And then, you know, the rich getting richer. So if you were, the system now, the way it is set up, if you were born, you have a greater chance of success if you were born into success than you do if you were not born into success. However, having said that, the system provides the most opportunities for people that want to be successful. People that are driven, people that are motivated, people that have a dream, people that want to succeed. And you can see that as immigrants come into the United States. They, up until very recently, were still pursuing the American dream. Really felt like the American dream was still alive. And when you look at America versus other governments, you can see why. Because where they came from was very limited in people's ability to build wealth and to succeed. America still has that. The American dream, I believe, is still alive. I believe there have been some things that have caused neglect to certain people groups. I think there have been some policies that are discriminatory in nature, but in general, I feel like the biggest issue at this point is greed. Everybody wants to be successful, and sometimes you try and try and try and can't figure out a way to do it, right? Well, maybe doors are closed, maybe it's just financially impossible for you to get started. And so we've raised the bar for people. We've made a bar very high for people to get out of poverty. And that needs to change. You can see this in how much, you can see this manifested in how much our government has changed. Okay. Like I said, I believe the original founders of the Constitution really had the intent that this would be a place where people can come and be successful through hard work and determination and true grit. However, we have created a government that is so big and top heavy, and the laws are so heavy, regulations are heavy. Interest groups have come out to express opinions. I mean, the whole situation, a whole lobbyist class has been created to influence politicians. So politicians aren't influenced by the people anymore. Politicians are influenced by lobbyists and special interest groups. How else can politicians get so rich? So there really is a true political class in this country. When you can go into a public office with the intent of making a career out of it because it's financially lucrative, not because you want to serve people, we have a big problem. So there's a lot of things that need reform right now. Our whole political system needs reform, but not to change the style of government. We need to reform things in a way that makes it impossible or discourages people. I almost don't even want to say this, but people have to go into public office with a good heart. And there can't be incentive for people to stay in government for an extended period of time. So I believe we need term limits, for sure. We need to get career politicians out of office. We need to cycle in some new blood with fresh ideas by people that are willing to serve their constituency and listen to their constituency and not listen and get paid off by lobbyists. I believe we need tax reform. I believe our whole government just needs to simplify. We do need a smaller government, but we need a government that's focused on programs to help people succeed and not benefit and not reward greed. So there's my thoughts this morning. These are my personal thoughts. Like I said, I'm working on something right now about freedoms, and it's very challenging for me, and I've been praying to the Lord about this, on how to come across this. I really want to make sure I have His heart and understand what He wants to say. But I realize that I have some strong biases because I love this country. I love the United States of America. I love what the principles it was founded on. But this country is losing its way. This country needs help. This country needs changed hearts. This country needs revival. Spiritual revival. This country needs a Coke together. You remember those old commercials? I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Like it's the real thing, Coke is. Everybody going around the world holding hands. It was kind of foo-foo at the day, but it's a powerful message. And I'm not saying we all have to sit around like that and drink Coca-Cola and, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is our government has lost its way. They don't represent the people anymore. It's a very manipulative group of people that are worried about their own interests. So it's a very self-serving organization at this point. And it has created a wealth separation that is damaging in the long run. You know, the government will get so big at some point that it will crush businesses. Businesses will not be able to operate because of high taxes, inflation, regulations. It's getting close to that now, national debt. So when this happens, people will go out of business. You will see a lot of business shuttering their doors. The biggest corporations will stay in power, but the government will eventually start to assume whole industries, operation and management of whole industries. And that is where we don't want to go, because that's socialism, and that leads to communism, and that can lead to authoritarianism, potential dictatorship. I mean, that could be way, way, way down the road, but, you know, there's probably going to be some form of socialism in this country if it keeps going the way it is, and I feel it probably will. I don't know if we're at the point of no return now, but I feel like we're probably pretty close to it. And people are frustrated by it. I get it. People don't want to see it go in this direction, but also you have a whole nother class of people that are saying we need more opportunity. We need equal footing. We need opportunities because we haven't been presented these in our life, and we don't have the financial support and backing to start businesses, to make things happen, to pursue our American dream. And I would agree with that. So whatever has to happen. But I do believe that in the present situation with the coronavirus, our government has not done a good job helping people. We have served big business. We have served corporations. We have bailed people out. Money, it has not been managed well either. Stimulus money and funds have gone to international corporations. They've gone to dead people. You know, they've served to bail out businesses and corporations, but not the people. And this is rough. This is very difficult to see. And this is bipartisan. You know, when these bills are passed, they are bipartisan bills. There is support from both sides. There has not been, as far as I know, a coronavirus stimulus package that has not been bipartisan. So you can see what's happening right now. Your politicians, our politicians, are self-serving. It's time to clean out. It's time to clean out. You know, and Donald Trump, is, with all his faults, has made the statement so many times that he was going to clean that swamp, drain the swamp. Well, I think to some extent that has been done, but I also feel like his recent focus on supporting big business is misguided. So that's my take. I just wanted to be, you know, clear this morning. I know this is a longer one than usual. Hopefully you guys hung on. If you did, thank you. And if you did, please let me know your comments down below. This is truly an exciting time, I guess. I don't know if I want to use the word exciting. Challenging for sure, stressful. You know, with the current activities going on out there, it is rough. It's been very rough. People's tension is high. People are super stressed out. And when people, you can see what people's stress response is now, right now. So the way people are acting now is the way that people are going to act when they're stressed. So we have a certain personality when we're not stressed, and then when you apply stress, things happen. People change. People have response mechanisms that are, it's like fight or flight, right? We have response mechanisms that are there to protect ourselves, protect our families, and protect our interests. So I think if we can all just ratchet it down, all just calm down, relax, take a breath, you know, think about things logically and rationally, we'll get through it. But it takes strong leadership. And right now, I don't feel like we've had strong leadership from our political class. Our politicians, our representatives. Very few have come out with a sort of moderate, steady, assuring tone at this point. Been a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth, a lot of infighting. And that, again, is the stress response. But we need people who will be solid and steady under stress. And this is what you're seeing right now. So use this situation to, build your information bank, observe what's going on, who's acting what and how under this stressful situation, and then go vote. Go vote in November, We need leaders that are going to care about people and have servants' hearts again. I think that's it right there, and not pursue special interests. So that's it. I love you all. I thank you so much for putting up with this morning. If you listen all the way through, you get a gold star. And I love you. And have a great day. I'll be putting that other video out here fairly soon. I still have some things to pray about and, probably change up some content a little bit. But I wanted y'all to know where my heart was with these situations and what my bias, this particular bias is. It's a pretty strong bias. Would I consider myself a patriot? I'll tell you this, if we went to war with another country right now, I would probably be up for going back in and serving in some capacity, even though I'm pretty old right now, and they probably wouldn't have me. I would find a way to support, whether it's here or anywhere else, because I love my country. I love it. I love the principles it stands for. Has it lost its way? Yeah, we've lost our way a little bit, but I don't believe it's unrecoverable, and I think it's improvable. I don't think we need a major shift in things. I think mainly it comes down to conditions of people's hearts. And we have to pray against greed in our government. Also pray to support our government. God created America for a reason. He put us here on the map for a reason. He drove our founders to do what they did for a reason. And we'll talk a little bit about that in my next video as well. Thank you all. Have a great day. Have a peaceful weekend. All right.